Good morning to our viewers. Third week of the Lancashire Premier League, and it's the game between Northern Falcons versus Blazing Champions at the Thurston College Cricket Grounds. The third week of the Season 5 of the Lancashire Premier League, 25-over tournament. And so far, this is how the points table looks after 8 matches have been played with Natives Titans leading the pack. They've won both the games. Southern Panthers, hot on the heels, they've won their 2 games as well. Ashton Lions with 4 points, they've won their 2 games. So you've got 3 teams who've won 2 games each. Western Tigers won 1, lost 1. Eastern Thunders the same. And the 2 teams playing out together, Northern Falcons and Blazing Champions, yet to get off the mark. And I'm pretty certain one of these teams will go back with the 2 points on the board and get their act together. So Wasim will be on strike, and we've got Pradeep from the Blazing Champions to start the proceedings from the far end. Right on the money, slight movement away from the right-hander, gentle pace, played with soft hands towards extra cover, no chance of a single. Wasim would like to spend some time, understand what the wicket has to offer. There were plenty of runs scored a couple of days ago on the same strip that is being used. More than 400 runs were scored by David Pearce in a mercantile game. Pradeep runs in, this time again. Bowling within himself, hitting the right line and length. Batsman equal to the task on the front foot. Slight movement away from the right-hander. Nothing much to trouble the batsman. So far, the bowler right on the money, the batsman equal to the task. Again, his time slightly shorter. Batsman on the back foot, straight towards the fielder. 3-dot balls. First over in progress. 25-over game. So far, the Northern Falcons, the batsmen haven't come to the party. Would love to get some runs. Amjad, who's on the non-striker, we all know how powerful he is. Has got the starts, but again this time short, again on the back foot, straight to the fielder. So the 2 outfielders in the power play, one fielding at the third man region, and you've also got a sweeper cover fielder. Pradeep Roshan, the first over so far, bowled 4-dot deliveries, and as we speak, slight change in the field. The mid-on dropped back towards long on, and the sweeper cover fielder being brought into the 30-yard circle. Can expect the bowler to be a lot fuller. He needs to continue with what he has done so far. Right outside off stump. Upesh, but beautifully played. First runs on the board for Northern Falcons. Wasim. Right on the pad, straighter, and lovely bit of wrist play there. Hoists it over the square leg region, couple of bouncers. That should give him some confidence. The bowler made the field change. He was bowling outside off stump, and on that occasion he dropped the mid-on and came a lot straighter and allowed batsman Wasim to free his arms and play it over the vacant square leg region. Fetches him the first boundary. This time on the back foot again. Nicely played, but straight to the fielder. That's the end of the first over. Northern Falcons, 4 for no loss. So Amjad will be on strike to face Tarindu de Silva. Takes his guard. Leg stump guard. We noticed Amjad take. So wide-ish second slip. A square leg, mid-on, mid-off. The two boundary riders, one at short third and at third man, and the other at the fine leg region. Amjad on strike. On the pads, work towards square leg. No chance of a single, so projected score is 86. Plenty of time left, I'm sure. Northern Falcons will be looking at a 175 run mark as a target that they could defend. You also need to be mindful of the two power play overs after 15 overs, where the batting team can opt to select the overs that they want. And you need to have only two fielders in the 30-yard circle, outside the 30-yard circle, and a pink ball is used during that power play. Amjad gets off the mark with a single. Goes to the non-striker's end, 5 for no loss. Tarindu de Silva not express pace. Should be called a wide. Yes, it is. First extra on the board. 6 for no loss. Way outside leg stump. Beautifully played, but straight to the fielder. Wasim packs a punch. That occasion too, driven powerfully but straight to the fielder. Waiting for that pitched up delivery to hit it straight back past the bowler. Again, didn't time it well. Looking for that big hit. Is there to be hit. Little slow off the wicket. Meant that Wasim couldn't get a clean strike. Fortunately for him, along the ground. So Northern Falcons move along to 7 for no loss. The second over in progress. 2 more deliveries to come in this over. Loud appeal. Umpire unmoved. Going down the leg side. Umpire. That's a big hit. Wonderful hit. Again, that inward movement enabled Amjad to free his arms on the pads. Risk-free cricket. Fetches him the first 6 of the game. Wonderful hit. Beautiful shot by Amjad. Went a mile up in the air. It was well held by the secretary of the organizing committee. Showing some good fielding technique out there. So Northern Falcons, end of 2 overs, 13 for no loss, and it will be Wasim on strike. 5 of 8 deliveries. Pradeep will continue. He's been a lot more disciplined in his line and length. Gentle pace, but outside off stump, not allowing the batsman to free their arms. That was there to be hit outside off stump, but straight to the fielder. Pradeep Roshan bowling his second over. So far, Northern Falcons have had a fairly decent start compared to the previous 2 games. Packed offside field. A deep square leg has been placed as well on the pads and helped along the ground towards that vacant acreage. No fine leg placed, just a wide-ish deep square leg. Bowler guilty of bowling to the pads. Needs to adjust and bowl outside off stump. Beautifully played by Wasim, allowing the ball to come to the bat, rolling his wrists and using that vacant leg side region to good effect. Fetches him a boundary. Score moves nicely to 17 for no loss. Risk-free cricket by these 2 players. Waiting for the loose balls to pounce on. Again, nicely played outside off stump. The bowler makes the adjustment. The batsman tries to use the pace and play it towards third man. Cannot find the gap. Dot ball nevertheless. Third over in progress. 17 for no loss. Beautiful shot. Beautifully played. Outside off stump. Wasim lofts it over the extra cover fielder. Couple of bouncers and fetches him another boundary in this over. There we see outside off stump. Beautifully played. Waited for that ball. Didn't try to hit it too hard. And that is what made the difference. Wonderful extension of the arms. Couple of bouncers. So good over for Northern Falcons. Loud appeal. And the finger goes up. Umpire indicating that there was an inside edge. Oh yes. I think we see. There we go. Again, tried to play that drive on the up. A bit slow off the wicket. Got the inside part of the bat. And a dejected Wasim departs. 2 boundaries in that over. Unfortunately, Northern Falcons lose their first wicket. Wasim departs. Karthik Shana, the wicket keeper of Pradeep Roshan, for a runner ball 13. which brings back the number 3 batsman Mohammad Rimzan on strike. Takes his guard, just a delivery left in the third over. Pradeep Roshan again on that teasing outside off stump line and length, straight to the fielder. No chance of a single, so that's the end of 3 overs, 21 for the loss of 1 wicket, Northern Falcons. So Amjad will take strike for the 4th over. He's faced 4 deliveries for 7 runs. Previous over, bowled by Tarindu. He whacked him over the square leg fielder for a 6. That should be called a wide. Yes, outside off stump. Tarindu, well aware of previous hit, overcompensates, puts it outside off stump. Fortunately for him, batsman had no way of reaching. That was a full toss bowled by Tarindu de Silva. This time again uses his strength to good effect. Another boundary for Amjad. Powerfully hit. There we see the ball did stop on him, but Amjad went straight and used his strength to good effect. He moves to 11 of 4 deliveries. A thickish outside edge. Fortunately for Amjad, falls just short of the third man fielder, trying to hit a little too hard. Not enough pace off the wicket, and on this occasion played a cross. Got that thickish outside edge. Fell in no man's land, so Amjad survives. He's on 12, brings Rimzan on strike, yet to get off the mark. Nicely played on the back foot towards the third man region. Fetches a single and brings the danger man Amjad on strike. Amjad has been given the license to attack. That's a good tactic employed by the Northern Falcons. Tarindu has been a bit expensive, bowling his second over. 16 for no loss, no wickets. On the shorter side, batsman camped on the front foot, drops his wrist, allows the ball to go to the keeper. Tarindu mixing it up. not allowing the batsman just to park himself on the front foot. This time again, beautifully played by Amjad. Just short, but got to the pitch of the ball and used a lovely flow of hands to pump it over the offside region for a boundary. So an expensive over by Thalindu De Silva. Second over, he's given away 20 runs. Northern Falcons have moved along nicely. 32 for the loss of 1 wicket. Amjad, 16 of 8 deliveries on strike. This time a lot straighter and equally well played by Amjad. So end of 4 overs. Northern Falcons 32 for 1. Pradeep Roshan will continue, bowling his third over again. Right on the money. Very disciplined in his line and length. Knows his strengths and weaknesses as well. Bowling within himself. Getting the ball to slightly move away from the right-hander. Slight enough to keep the batsman on check. Beautifully played. Wonderful shot by Rimzan. Probably the shot of the morning so far. On the up. Allowed the ball to come to the bat. Just played it along the ground. Beautifully played. Wonderful hit. That should give him confidence. And straight away we have the slip fielder being moved towards that extra cover region. Played on the up by Rimzan. 36 for 1, the 5th over in progress. The projected score is 208. There we see again Pradeep Roshan bowling outside off stump. Takes the thickish outside edge. Played with soft hands, so all along the ground. Again, nicely played by Rimzan. Straight back to the bowler. Bowler feels it on the follow through. Two more deliveries left in this over. After being driven on the front foot, Pradeep Roshan has come back well. 2 dot deliveries. Northern Falcons 36 for 1. Oh, beautifully bowled. Adjusts the length on the shorter side. Rimzan loves to come on the front foot. Very well bowled. Little squarish arm action. Gets the ball to move away. Slight bounce off the wicket. Interesting to see that. It's a used wicket. There's a bit of grass covering, and that particular length you saw in the previous delivery There was a bit of life out there for the bowlers willing to bend their back. Oh, this time Foolish powerfully driven on the front foot. Hoists it over mid-on. Fetches a 6. So Pradeep doesn't end the over well. Gives away a 6 in the last delivery. Lot of bottom hand on that shot. There we see sailing over the long on and deep mid-wicket region. Gets a 6. Rimzan has got to double figures. He's on 11 off 8 and Amjad 16 off 9. The umpire signalling the second power play. 5 overs completed, 42 for 1. It's been a good start as far as Northern Falcons are concerned. And we see a bowling change. Ashan Pereira being brought into the attack. Straight away we see left arm spin being employed. So the 5 fielders out in the deep square leg, deep mid wicket, long on, long off, and a sweeper cover fielder. Ashan Rukmal will bowl his first over, coming left arm round the wicket to Amjad. He's got a slip field as well. Cautiously played by Amjad. Wants to see what the bowler is up to before, I'm sure he'll flex his arms. There to be hit. Lot of bottom hand, lot of power. Gets a thickish inside edge towards long on. Try to hit a little too hard. It's there to be hit. Nicely played on the front foot, all along the ground for a single. So Rimzan moves to 12. 2 singles in this over. 3 more deliveries to come. 6th over in progress. Amjad on strike. That's a beautiful hit. Fetch that. Out of here. Wonderful hit by Amjad. Here we see tossed it up. Bit of turn, but nothing to trouble the batsman. Goes straight, fetches it. That long lever comes into play. It's out of here. Oh, follows up with a quicker delivery. Amjad makes the cardinal mistake of going on the back foot. There we see quickish, an arm delivery. That is plumb as it gets. The bowler knew it from the get-go. Amjad departs for a power-packed 23. Disappointed to miss out. Got a good start. Unfortunately, the bowler was smart enough to follow the tossed-up delivery with a quickish delivery. And that would have hit the middle stump. Amjad departs Second wicket for the blazing champions. Northern Falcons lose their second with 50 on the board. A healthy run rate of 8.57, and that brings Vihanga Jayanama, the left-handed batsman, to take strike to Ashan Rukmal, the left-arm spinner. Got whacked for a humongous 6 the previous delivery, but he came back strongly and got the man out. Nicely bowled. End of the 6th over, 50 for no loss. Another bowling change. Ashwin Asiri being brought into the attack. Blazing champions. Another left arm spinner. Oh, he's an off spinner. My apologies. So Ashwin Asiri starts off with a single. Rimzan brings the left-handed Vihanga Jayaman on strike. Vihanga plays it on the back foot, gets a single off the mark. With what we've seen so far, I think a score in excess of 180 to 200 will be a competitive score on this wicket. We've seen the teams that have batted first, who've won most of the games, played at the Thurston College Cricket Grounds. Certainly favours the team batting first. Plenty of cricket left. The Falcons, 18 overs left. They've had the start that they wanted. Nicely played again by Rimzan. Fetches the single. You don't need to look for boundaries every over. Work the singles. Get the ball. Keep attacking the loose deliveries, and certainly 180 is within reach. Again on the back foot. Played towards mid-wicket region. Well run in the end. Slight misfield, but Rimzan was alert. So was Jayanama. That is good cricket by the batting team. pouncing on anything loose. Always looking for that mistake. So end of 7 overs, 55 for the loss of 2 wickets. So the left arm spinner Ashan Pereira will continue coming around the wicket. Nicely driven by Rimzan. Just a single. But so far he started this innings very well. Conventional batting. Looks to play on the front foot. Quite a contrast to Vihanga Jayanama, who prefers to play a lot on the back foot, especially against the spinners. Picks the length early. Oh, this time on the front foot. Pushes at it. Fortunately for him, mid-off was dropped back. Stopped on him. But as far as the batsman is concerned, he went on with the shot. Didn't look to drop his wrist. Played with a straight bat. This time quicker. Nicely played, a quick run. Wild throw by the captain. Jessley Richards fielding at extra cover. No harm done. So 3 deliveries bowled in this over. 3 singles. Good cricket overall. There we see the quicker delivery. Direct hit would have been made it interesting. This time lovely tossed up delivery. Inviting the batsman to come on the front foot. Was there to be hit, but Vihanga didn't connect it cleanly. This time on the shorter side, played on the back foot. Watchfully played by Vihanga, waiting for the ball. Played on the back foot, straight back past the bowler. End of 8 overs, 59 for 2. Off spinner, thickish outside edge, quick run. Rimzan was alert for that opportunity. Vihanga Jayanama gets a single, brings Rimzan on strike. Right-handed Rimzan. There we see thickish outside edge, but well run. Rimzan very alert. Beautifully played again on the front foot by Rimzan, but straight to Ashwin. The bowler fields it. Again, nicely played on the front foot. Wonderfully driven by Rimzan. He's played that shot very well today. Ashwin, right arm off spinner. Interesting to see that he's bowling at times closer to the stumps rather than the crease. Again played on the back foot. Wasn't short enough, but Jayanama prefers to play on the back foot, waits for that delivery. Again, the thickish outside edge. Again, well run by Rimzan. Calls for a single. One more delivery left. Good over by Ashwin Asiri. Not getting the ball to turn, but he's bowling tightly, hitting a good line and length. Bowling with a lower trajectory, not getting the batsman or not allowing the batsman to free their arms. On this occasion, Rimzan plays it very well towards the long on region. Again, well run by these two batsmen, Rimzan and Jayanama. Wonderful hit by Rimzan. The last delivery using his wrist to good effect. So end of 9 overs, 64 for 2. So bowling change, Shamsul Munir being brought into the attack. Shamsul Munir, off spinner, starts off well, but equally well played by Vihanga Jayanama. All along the ground towards long off for a single. Brings Rimzan on strike. Rimzan is on 19 of 18 deliveries. 10th over in progress. Nicely bowled by Shamsul Munir, but equally well played by Rimzan. This time nicely played. Should fetch him a couple of runs. Yes, well run in the end. Nicely played by Jayanama. Nicely bowled by Shamsul Munir. Quickish on that occasion. On the shorter side, played on the back foot. Quick run again. Better throw would have made it more interesting. Right-handed fielder collecting that delivery would have made that extra second count. On that occasion, the captain, he had to opt to throw on his strong arm, the left arm, and that allowed the batsman to get back onto the crease. So 10th over in progress, 68 for 2. We haven't seen a boundary in the last 4 overs. But irrespective of that, I think these two are doing the right thing. Working the singles, building a partnership. I'm certain after 12 or 13 overs, they can take that additional risk that is required. So end of 10, 68 for 2. Ashwin will continue. Misfield should have been collected cleanly. A lucky break for Vihanga Jayanama. Not the best of shots employed by him. That was full. Not there to be hit, especially across the line. Thickish outside edge. And not collected cleanly. The fast outs field meant that Vihanga Jayanama got a fortunate boundary. Boundary after 4 overs. Good start for the over. As far as Northern Falcons are concerned. Follows up with a single towards long off. So 2 deliveries bowled in this over. 5 runs fetched. Northern Falcons 73 for 2. 11th over in progress. Ideally, you need to look at doubling the score after 15 overs. So at the 15 over mark, Northern Falcons will be eyeing 110 runs maybe. Oh, what a catch. What a catch. He timed that jump to perfection. Didn't hit it cleanly, Rimzan. And the skipper wonderfully taken. Richards, Jeslyn Richards, the skipper of Blazing Tigers. Jesley Richards holds on to a wonderful one-handed catch. And that is the end of Mohammad Fawzul Rimzan. Departs for 23. Well compiled innings by Mohammad Rimzan, but unfortunately Jesley Richards with a one-handed stunner, and third wicket falls for Northern Falcons. 73 for 2, just as the momentum was shifting towards Northern Falcon with that wonderful partnership. Unfortunately, Rimzan departs. The new batsman, MNM Ijaz, right-handed batsman, walks out to the middle. Immediately a slip being brought in. Three fielders on the offside behind the wicket, indicating that the bowler will come round the wicket and get the ball to cut across the right-handed batsman. More of a undercutting off spin. Starts off well, and there we see straight towards that fielder being employed behind the wicket on the offside. Shamsul Munir collects. No chance of a single. Very fast outfield. M&M Ijaz gets off the mark. Plenty of runs available on this ground. That was just a gentle push towards long on. It raced towards long on. There we see quickish dot ball to end the 11th. 75 for 3. So Shamsul Munir will continue bowling his second over to the left-handed Vihanga Jayanama. Nicely played on the back foot towards the sweeper cover region. Just a single brings M&M Ijaz on strike. M&M Ijaz seems to be a strong bottom-handed player from what we see. Scans the outfield. There we see using his wrist. Plays along the ground. He was eyeing that deep mid-wicket region. The bowler calls and Jayanama departs, playing across the line. Tried to play that the previous over. Fortunately got a outside edge. And the fielder with a miss of it. This time tossed up, bit of turn. Again a top edge. This time the bowler made no mistake. Calls for it and completes the passage of play. The set batsman Vihanga Jayanama departs for 15 runs. I was about to say that he needs to bat through the innings. Rimzan departed the previous over, and with Ijaz on strike, Jayanama should have looked at pinching the single, but unfortunately for Northern Falcons, they lose their 4th wicket with 77 runs on the board. 12th over in progress. Plenty of overs left. 13 more overs left, and you've got the power play as well. 2 set batsmen after 15 overs would have been a different story. But at the moment, we've got 2 new batsmen out in the middle. M&M Ijaz on 3, and the new batsman Shamat Hiranta was walked in, right-handed batsman. So 2 right-handers out there in the middle. Shamsul Munir using his experience getting his first wicket, the second over in progress. So the middle overs, the spinners have brought back the run rate and the momentum that the Northern Falcons were enjoying, blazing champions. Two teams who are yet to get on the board. They've lost the first two games. We see some chatter between Shahid and the new batsman Chamat Hiranta. Looks as if they know each other well. Shamsu Munir has a deep square leg, deep mid wicket, long on. No one within the 30 yard on the leg side. Starts well outside off stump. Hiranta went on the back foot outside off stump. So the line of attack is pretty much certain. Maybe outside off stump. Plenty of vacant space out in the out on the leg side. Just the boundary riders out on the leg side. No one within the 30 yard circle. Oh, thickish outside edge. Tentative poke by Chamat Hiranta. Fetches him a couple of runs to get off the strike. Get off the mark rather. So end of a successful over for Shamsul Munir. There we see. No turn and half a chance. More agile field on in the slip cordon. Could have got onto that. I think the captain, Jessley Richards, has used his bowlers quite effectively. It's a good move to continue with Ashwin Asiri. I'm sure with two right-handers out in the middle, he would have been tempted to go to the left-arm spinner. But Ashwin Asiri has got into a good rhythm. And he needs to complete his spell. Bowling his fourth. There we see coming round the wicket. Bit of undercut. Doesn't get the ball to spin. Goes on with the arm. Batsman too needs to read the bowler, read the field, understand the line of attack, what the bowler is doing. And maybe walk across, cover, and then use that leg side region this time on the shorter side and play towards offside region, towards sweep, a cover for a single. Brings Hiranta on strike. Generally with this field set up, as we speak, there's a slight change. The slip field being taken towards shortish square leg. Way too short, outside off stump. Batsman tries a dab. Would have opted for the conventional cut shot on that instance. There we see again, this time plays it towards third man, but good field placement by Ashwin Asiri. This will be the line of attack, and Chamat may be better off walking across this time on the shorter side. Opts for the pull, doesn't connect cleanly, straight towards deep mid wicket for a single. It's a good over so far for the blazing champions. And Ashwin Asiri bowling his fourth. Just has given away just 2 runs in this over. Oh, what was that? Dead ball called. Just one more delivery in this 13th over in progress. Again, batsman opting to play that slog sweep all along the ground towards long on. Blazing Tigers, Blazing Champions will be the happy of the two. End of 13, 82 for 4. Shamsul Munir bowling his 3rd over. Starts off with a single. Wild Hoik. A tough chance. Would have been a brilliant catch had it been held. Ijaz opting for that slog sweep that he favours. A lot of bottom hand. Chamathiranta outside off stump. Waits for that delivery and plays the flamingo flick towards deep mid wicket for a single. This time played nicely using his wrist. Dabs it towards the backward point region for a single. 3 singles in the first 3 deliveries. Much better by the Northern Falcons. Again, delicately dabbed. Wonderfully played by Chamathiranta. Waited for that delivery on that occasion. Used a little bit of pace on offer by Shamsul Munir and features a couple of runs. So 5 of 4 deliveries, and as far as Northern Falcons are concerned, a couple more runs. Loose delivery dispatched to the boundary would be wonderful for them. Follows up with a good delivery. Shamsul Munir slows it. Ahmad tries to work towards the leg side. There we see the chance at mid wicket of the first delivery. This time again, quick run, well run in the end. You've got to show some urgency. You've got to be alert. So end of 14 overs, 88 for 4. So the skipper, Jessley Richards, will bowl the 15th over. Left arm spin will be called a wide. Not much of turn on offer, but the bowlers are slowing it down, hitting the right line and length. And the regular wickets have meant that the batting team have not been able to get any momentum going. 90 for 4. Brings M&M Ijaz on strike. So far he's opted to play that preferred slog sweep. There we see again plenty of bottom hand. This time he didn't go with the shot, and fortunately for him that worked in his favour. One bounce towards long on. So the projected score has come down drastically from 200 to 160 runs. What the Northern Falcons need is a partnership. Play a couple of overs, get the singles, and have a set batsman to bat till the end. They've got Gajan, who we've seen played some big shots, especially later in the innings. I'm sure Northern Falcons will be looking at him coming during the power play and maximize the runs that can be taken. There's two fielders out in the deep during that second power play. Chamathirantha, his preferred shot has been that dab towards third man, and with the slowness of the wicket, sometimes it's better off playing the conventional cut, use some power behind the hit. This time quicker, uses the pace and plays it towards square leg for a single. So 5 runs off the over, 94 for 4 at the end of 15 overs. So Shamsul Munir will continue. The 16th over in progress. 10 more overs left for the Northern Falcons, and at the moment I'm sure Blazing Champions will be the happy of the two. They've brought back proceedings. At one point the run rate was in excess of 8.5 runs per over, but the spinners have bowled a lot tighter, and this time, was that a chance? The skipper fielding at extra cover. That particular delivery stopped on the batsman. Tough chance. Should have been held. Chamathirantha, fortunately for him, the skipper made a mess of it. So 95 for 4, Northern Falcons meandering along. We need to show some urgency. Powerfully driven, and what a catch. Or was it... thought it was a catch. Powerfully driven. It hit his wrist. No wonder he's in a lot of pain. I thought he was on a celebratory run, but it was actually bad hit on the wrist, and we've got the physio out there. The magic spray in use. Shamsul Munir in a bit of pain, and suppose there we see lot of bottom hand. Would have been a brilliant catch had he held on to it. Hit his wrist. Good to see him back on the feet and willing to complete his over. From Northern Falcons' perspective, I'm pretty certain the message to the batsman would have been to show some urgency. Need to score somewhere between 150 to 175 runs. With what we've seen, I think there is a little bit of sponginess on the wicket. Certain deliveries are not coming onto the bat smoothly. There's a bit of extra bounce as well. And with what we've seen, I'm pretty certain the second innings, the chase will not be easy. 25 overs, 150 deliveries, you score somewhere close to 175 runs. Northern Falcons will be happy, but having said that, you need to score 75 to 80 runs the next 57 deliveries, and as we speak, Ijaz again employing that favoured sweep of his. A lot of bottom hand, a lot of power generated, but the best part of that is that he's playing it along the ground. Brings Chamath on strike. Chamath's preferred shot has been the dab towards third man. Right now, doesn't connect cleanly. Thickish inside edge onto the pad. He's faced 17 deliveries for 11. One of the two batsmen needs to go after the attack. There's plenty of batting left as well. There we see the dab again, straight to the third man fielder. Short third man fielder. Hasindu collects. Another good over by Shamsul Munir. He's bowled 4 overs, given away 16 runs and captured a wicket. End of 16, 96 for 4. So the skipper, Jessley Richards, will bowl the 17th over. Ijaz, batsman on strike. He's got onto double figures. So is Chamath Hiranta, who's on 11 of 18 deliveries. They've got the start they wanted. They've spent enough time out in the middle. Nicely played. Beautifully played by Ijaz. Much better. Gets a welcome boundary from the first delivery bowled in the 17th over. Much better, I think. This time he opted for a conventional cover drive, playing based on what is on offer. Can't be premeditating your shots. That's why he opted for the slog sweep, but this time outside off stump, quicker, giving him pace to work with. Much better delivery by Richards. Straighter. Ijaz was initially looking to play that slog sweep, makes the adjustment. This time nicely tossed. This time again driven on the front foot by Ijaz. So triple figures for Northern Falcons, 100 on the board in the 17th over. Chamath on strike. Full toss, can't maximize the opportunity. Just a single. 120 2 for 4. 17th over in progress. Comes down the track, uses his feet. There we see again plenty of bottom hand behind the shots. This time on the pads, beautifully flicked. They should look for 2. Again, well run, well played by MN Mijaz. So end of an expensive over given the situation. 104 for 4. Jessley Richards, the skipper, has bowled 2 overs, given away 14 runs. So 8 more overs left. It'll be interesting to see when they opt for the pink ball power play. Ideal time is to take it with 2 set batsmen out in the middle, and as we speak, a bowling change with Tanushka Suravira being brought into the attack. So new bowler, another left arm spinner, Danushka Suravira. There we see wild throw, not collected cleanly and not backed up well as well. Gives away a free run to the Northern Falcons, brings Chamathiranta on strike. Gets 2 runs off that first delivery with that overthrow. Danushka again nicely bowled. Seems to be the pick of the 3 left arm spinners we've seen so far. Used a little late when the batsmen are looking for attacking options, but so far he started off well, and from a Blazing Champions point of view, it's good to have your better bowlers to bowl the last few overs. Nicely bowled again, but equally played well by the batsman. Couple of bouncers towards the sweeper region. Again, full toss, not capitalized, straight to the fielder. Just a single. Northern Falcons require a lot more adventure, a lot more urgency. Sometimes batting power play can work well in the sense that it brings some momentum, some urgency to the batting team. This time again that favoured slog sweep straight to the fielder. Just a single. So end of Tanushka Suravira's first over is given away 6 runs. 110 for the loss of 4 wickets in 18 overs. Chesley Richards will continue. Again, helped along towards square leg. Not collected cleanly, but no urgency out there in the middle between the two batsmen. Just walking across, didn't capitalize on that opportunity. Just a single. Nelson on the board. Again, batsman Wild Hoik doesn't connect cleanly. Dot ball. This time again, Apesh. Just a single. Blazing champions. Be happy with how things have panned out. They brought back some semblance to the proceedings. And at the moment, Northern Falcons are inching towards that 150 run mark. Oh, poor cricket. That should have been an overthrow single. Batsman not alert. Batsman just parked. Bit of hesitancy. And a wild throw. No backup. Batsman should have run. Couple of dot deliveries. A very good over by Chesley Richards. 19th over. 3 dot balls. Now the Falcons need to get going. So end of 19 overs, 113 for 4. Danushka Suravira will continue. 20th over in progress. Again, straight to the fielder. He collected it and thrown at the stumps. There was an opportunity for a run out. Shot there to be hit. Interesting stop by the skipper, showing some football skills. Lovely, tossed up, not giving pace to the batsman. Trickles towards deep mid wicket. Another single. Northern Falcons require boundaries, and blazing champions are quite content with giving away the odd single. Nicely bowled again. Those wrists and bottom hand coming into play. A wild swing. Ball is trickling towards the fine leg region. Boundary signal. So welcome boundary for the Northern Falcons. Not a clean hit, but nevertheless, what matters is the runs on the board. Doesn't matter how it comes. There we see thickish inside edge. The batsman swinging it. Gets an edge, and valiant attempt. Good attempt, but unfortunately not good enough. That's a big hit. Valiant effort out in the deep. Anushka Suravira tossing it up, inviting the batsman to play that wild hoik. Fetches a 6. Hiranta didn't connect it cleanly. Deep mid wicket. For a moment thought that he was in business. Valiant effort to prevent that boundary. But Danushka, bit expensive the last two deliveries again. This time well held at deep mid wicket. Danushka Suravira was pumped over deep mid wicket the previous delivery. Follows it up, teasing the batsman to repeat the shot. Lot more revs, lot more effort behind that delivery. Not tossed up like the previous one. This time the deep mid wicket fielder very well held. Wonderful catch at deep mid wicket, and Hiranta departs. Scored 10 runs off the last two deliveries. Tries to repeat that shot, and unfortunately for him, straight towards the deep mid wicket fielder. So the batsmen have got the starts, but no batsman has capitalized and kicked on from that point onwards. Ijaz on 23 of 27 deliveries, and we see Gajan, powerful hitter, walk out into the middle. Anand and Gajan. He's played well in the first two games. Fortunately, couldn't chase the total in the first game against. But nevertheless, here he is. Sure, the power play will be in the back of the minds of the Northern Falcon think tank. So 20 overs completed, 126 for 5. Jessley Richards will continue the last 5 overs in progress. Wonderfully bowled, and the finger is raised. Smart work by the wicketkeeper. Jessley Richards slows it, tosses it, and Ijaz departs. Tries to play that favoured hoik towards mid wicket. There we see feet not behind the crease. And the set batsman, Ijaz, departs. So 2 new batsmen out in the middle. 5 overs left. And Northern Falcons, I think, would have preferred to have one of the 2 set batsmen out in the middle. Every time they've looked as if they've started attacking and get the momentum going, they've started losing the wickets. They need a set batsman out in the middle, and they need not wait till the last 2 overs to take the power play. My view is that you need to take a lot earlier, get that momentum going, because irrespective of whether you have the power play or not, the last 2 overs you are going to go after the attack. So might as well take it a lot early, preferably when 5 overs are left. Keep some wickets in hand, and then you can certainly capitalize and maximize run making. So far, they've opted to play the safer option, and as we speak, the left-handed Ashim on strike goes after the bowling. It's a good intent. Brings Anand and Gajan on strike. The right-handed Anand and Gajan. Gajan, powerful hitter of the ball. Walks across. Lovely start. Plays it powerfully along the ground towards long on. So far for Northern Falcons, he's been the pick of the batsman, coming late, middle order, and he's been amongst the runs. Hashim on strike, the left-hander. Nothing shot in the end. Tries to play a dab towards the third man region. Chesley Richards firing it. This time tosses it up. Upish, wild hit. Straight towards long on. Chesley Richards gets his man. Hashim departs. 7 wickets down with just 128 runs on the board. There we see teasing delivery by the skipper Richards, inviting the batsman to go after him. Hashim did oblige, but unfortunately didn't get the elevation. Easy catch to the long on fielder. Just as the momentum was shifting towards Northern Falcon, the previous over, a boundary and a 6. We've seen 3 quick wickets from that point onwards. Brings the skipper Hafshan on strike. Northern Falcons, so it'll be battle of the skippers. Richards, the captain of Blazing Champions, facing off the captain of Northern Falcons, Hafshan. Not afraid to toss it up. Played towards long on for a single. (21 gone, 129 for 7). So Ashan Rukmal being brought in the attack. Thickish outside edge. Fortunate runs for Northern Falcons. 2 more to add to the total. 131 for 7. Fired it. Left arm spinner. Unlike the other 2 spinners not tossing it up, Ashan Rukmal opting to bowl flat and fast. Oh, where is it? Slows it down. Good follow-up delivery. Beautifully bowled. The first delivery was fired into the wicket. The next delivery was tossed up. Bit more purchase. But equally well played by Hafshan. Plays it with soft hands, gets the danger man Anandan Gajan on strike. Beautifully bowled by Ashan Rukmal. Knows that Gajan will go after him. Doesn't give him the pace that he needs. Wearing it wonderfully well. This time fires it onto the pads. Should be just be a single. Chance for a run out, but will run in the end. Should have been kept for a single, but some lackadaisical effort out in the deep meant that the batsman could take two, bring the danger man Gajan on strike, and this time it was up in the air, but Gajan's power comes into play. I thought it was well bowled by Ashan Rukmal, slowed it. The only mistake he made was that he didn't look to turn the ball. He slowed it, but he bowled it a bit seam up. Valiant effort out in the deep, but cannot prevent that going beyond the boundary. This time short, played on the back foot. Another mistake. Another six. Gajan should have departed on that instance. Short, but he didn't connect cleanly. Helped it along towards mid-wicket. And a terrible effort out in the deep. No, not steady enough to hold on to that catch. Should have planted his foot, kept his hands steady, and that would have been curtains to Gajan. 2 hits, and Gajan moves to 15 off 5. Some momentum, and I think it's the ideal time to opt for the pink ball power play. And as we speak, are they opting for it, or are they still waiting for that final last 2 overs to opt for the pink ball power play? I think they've called for it. Yes, the umpire signals. I think it's the right time to take it. Maybe an over late. Got 3 more overs, and from Northern Falcons' perspective, the Hafshan, the skipper, needs to just get the single and get Gajan on strike. Tharindu De Silva, who bowls the second over, will start proceedings. He'll come over the wicket. Just a third man and a sweeper cover. Field out in the deep. Hafshan needs to get the single and get... there we go. Starts off well outside off stump, but little too wide for the umpire's liking. Called a wide. The right call. With the third man and sweeper cover, he'll opt to bowl that line and length again. Very well bowled. The Anand and Gajan needs to part some of his experience, get the batsman to cover the stumps, maybe even walk across. Don't have the conventional leg and middle stump guard. Cover the wickets, walk across, because your line of attack will be outside off stump. There we see again 2 dot deliveries. He needs to get Anand and Gajan on strike. Get some bat and pinch that single that is required, or opt to go all out and try to look for the boundary. Oh no, not good as far as Northern Falcons are concerned. 3 dot deliveries. I think what he needs to do is just swing at it. Don't look for the single now. 3 more deliveries. Go after the attack. Much better. Much better. Gets that edge. No slip. Bowler did everything right. Batsman tried to get the single and get Gajan on strike. The first deliveries. On this occasion, he's had enough. Goes after the bowling. Gets a fortunate edge. Most importantly, fetches his team 4 runs. And Northern Falcons crossed the 150 run mark. This time again, just a single. It'll be interesting to see what Gajan opts for. With just one more delivery left, I suppose he needs to just get the single and make sure that he's on strike for the next over. Or will he go after the bowling? Oh, adventurous hit. Looks for the paddle, the scoop. Gets some bat. Most importantly, gets a single. Very interesting shot by Gajan. Walks across. Lucky to get some bat. Most importantly, he was always wanting the ball. Not enough pace from the bowler to play that scoop. If you're express quick or little sharper, you can use that pace and scoop it over the short fine leg fielder. On that occasion, not enough pace. There's some sponginess on the wicket as well. As we speak, left arm spinner. Gajan on strike, beautifully bowled. Came on with the arm. Batsman had no clue. So did the wicketkeeper. Byes called in the end. Some lucky runs for Northern Falcons. The innings was going nowhere until Gajan walked in. 2 quick blows beyond the boundary and the momentum has shifted back. We'll have to wait and see whether this is enough. Powerfully driven, but not interested in the single. Rightfully, he wants strike. 10 more deliveries left in the first innings. Powerful hit, beautiful hit. That's a boundary. Wonderful hit. Back past the bowler. Long on was there. It was wide enough. And then that occasion, Gajan hit it straight. Couple of bouncers. Gets another boundary. So 3 deliveries bowled in this over. 8 runs scored. 4 off the bat. Uses the depth of the crease, but straight towards mid-off. Leicester fields. So Ashan Rukmal comes down the track. Again, what a shot. Wonderful hit. Took a couple of steps forward and timed it to perfection. I think the key there was it a no ball called as well? Wonderful shot. Look at that. Beautiful hit. Just used his power. Came to the pitch of the delivery and went straight. Didn't look to hit too hard. I think the key there was he just timed it to perfection. This time, uses power. So 5 deliveries. That was a free hit. So yes, a no ball was called. This time Hafshan Plays it towards mid-off. So end of the power play. Northern Falcons 161 for 7. End of 24. Just 6 more deliveries left in this Northern Falcon innings. So Tharindu De Silva will complete the final over. Anandan Gajan, 28 of 13, top scoring for the Northern Falcons, coming in at number 7. He's batted beautifully. Shorter format requires some powerful hitters, and Ananda Gajan has done it well. Loud appeal, moving towards past the leg stump. Umpire unmoved. We see there is some life on this wicket for the fast bowlers if they are willing to bend their back, hit the seam. A wild hike by Gajan, misses it. Just 3 more deliveries left. 171 for 7. Northern Falcons will be looking at that elusive 180 run mark. Lovely hit. But straight to the fielder at long off. There is protection out in the deep. Brings Hafshan on strike. 2 more deliveries left. Needs to go after this delivery. Slower delivery and played towards long on. Gajan was only interested in a single. Northern Falcon requires a boundary in this over. Can he hit one more blow that the Northern Falcons need? They should have run. Had Hafshan run with a lot more purpose and urgency, I'm sure he would have made it a little too slow off the blocks. So end of the first innings, Northern Falcons 174 for the loss of 8 wickets. And one short call, so poor cricket to end the proceedings. No run and just a run out. So a dot to complete the proceedings. Northern Falcons 173 of the allotted 25 overs. Gajan top scoring for the Northern Falcons with 28 of 16 deliveries. Brought back some respectability to the Northern Falcons total. At one point, we see the batting card for Northern Falcons. The opener Wazim got into double figures. Every batsman got into double figures other than Hashim Lutfi. Mohammad Amjad started off well, 23 of 13 with 2 powerful hits over the boundary. But the pick of the batsman, Anand Gajan. put in some momentum to this innings with 29, and we see the bowling. Except Tarindu De Silva, everyone chipped in with a wicket, and the skipper Jessley Richards captured 2 of 4 deliveries, and Shamsul Munir captured 1 wicket off 16. He bowled a miserly spell. The spinners, we see the highlights of the Northern Falcon innings, electing to bat first. The openers Wasim and Amjad started off quite well. The opening fast bowler Wasim played a few shots, and then we see Mohammad Amjad go after the attack. Couple of blows. Wasim was more circumspect, using the field to good effect all along the ground, and that was wonderfully hit by Wasim again. And Mohammad Amjad, that was the first wicket to fall. Wasim inside edge, and then we see Mohammad Amjad come into the party. Some big blows from Amjad, and at that moment things were looking quite well bright for the Northern Falcons. They were going after the bowling and scoring runs freely, and then the spinners came in. That powerful hit was followed by a quicker delivery, and Mohammad Amjad was plumb LBW. And then the spinners put in the brakes very miserly, and then the wicket started falling. Wonderfully held by the skipper, one-handed catch, and then Vihanga Jayanama departed. 3 quick wickets before Emene Mijaz and Hiranta put on a partnership. Fortunate boundaries in the partnership. Things were going according to plan as far as Blazing Champions were concerned, until Gajan walked in. There we see 3 quick wickets fall in quick succession. And then the skipper walked in with Gajan, and that was the first hit over the boundary. And then unfortunately for Blazing Champions, a chance went begging, and then naturally the last few overs, the batsman looking for runs, sloppiness creeping in, meant that Northern Falcons ended proceedings at 173 for the loss of 8 wickets. That was powerful hit out of the ground, and the end a run out to complete the innings. So we'll take a small break before we come back with Blazing Champions. Blazing Champions out there chasing the total of 174 runs. So the umpires walk out into the middle. The 9th game of the Lankashire Premier League, the 25-over tournament, played for the 5th season. And we've got Blazing Champions facing the Northern Falcons. Northern Falcons made 173 runs the first innings. Blazing Champions require 174. Just a shade under 7 runs per over. And it will be Mohammad Afham, the left-arm fast bowler. Will start proceedings for Northern Falcons, and we've got the 2 openers striding out into the middle. For the Blazing Champions, they need a good start. There was some life for the fast bowlers, those who were willing to hit the seam and get some purchase off the wicket. The 2 openers, Lester Jayavira has some experience, plays Tier B. Has experience playing in the Tier B, Lester Jayavira, and he will open with, we'll have to wait and see his non-striking partner. So it will be Mohammad Afham, the left arm quick. Bowl the first over for the Northern Falcons. He'll be up against the experienced left-hander Lester Jayavira. Afham runs in, starts off well outside off stump, let alone by the batsman. Danushka Suravira opening with Lester Jayavira. Danushka is on strike, left-handed batsman. Afham runs in. This time quick, bit on the shorter side. Tall lad, bowls with a good pace. Bit of bounce on that instance on the shorter side. Danushka could capitalize on the width on offer. Well bowled, beaten for pace, that rushed on to the bat. Afham runs in again on the shorter side, straight to point, 4 dot deliveries. Afham has started off well. The right length to bowl on this wicket. There's an extra bit of bounce when you bang it short on this wicket. A bit of a sponginess. So far Afham has started off well. Needs to mix it up occasionally. Get that ball to come rushing on to the batsman on the front foot as well. This time, batsman drives on the up, loses contact of the bat at the point of strike, but fortunately for him, all along the ground, finds the gap. So first runs on the board. Final delivery in the first over. Again on the shorter side. Help towards fine leg for a single. So 5 runs off the first over. Danushka took a complete charge in that over. Faced all 6 deliveries. Pinched a single in the last delivery. He'll be on strike. Next over as well. First over completed, 5 for no loss. Mohammad Fawzul Rimzan will bowl the second over to Danushka on strike. Danushka replacing the pair of gloves that was in use. We saw him lose control of the bat the previous over, and that has prompted for change in gloves. Left-handed Danushka will be on strike. Mohammad Fawzul Rimzan, right arm fast bowler. No slips, just a short third, backward point, extra cover, a very packed offside field. The 2 fielders in the deep, one at the deep mid-wicket region and one at the fine leg region. Will most likely get the ball to come back into the left-hander. We'll have to wait and see. But the field placement indicates that probably get the ball to come into the left-hander. Having said that, he starts off across the left-hander. Interesting field. Not enough pace for the batsman. Gets another thickish inside edge. We've seen plenty of inside edges indicating that the slowness of the wicket. Brings Lester on strike. Lester Javira has experience playing in the Tier B segment. He's on strike, the right-handed batsman. The first time in this chase, he's on strike. Some adjustment to the field. Again, We see on this instance with the right hand on strike, a sweeper cover fielder out in the deep with the conventional third man, fine leg up in the circle. What a way to start proceedings. Leicester using his experience. Shot there to be hit. First delivery. No sighters for Leicester. He gets on with it. Shot there to be hit, but well connected by Leicester. That should give him some confidence. What a way to start. First delivery faced. He's pulled it over the deep mid-wicket region. Doesn't have the pace to trouble the batsman. He needs to bowl a lot fuller. Much better, fuller. And driven towards the backward cover point region. No chance of a single. So, Blazing Champions, 12 for no loss. Second over in progress. They need 174 runs of 25 overs to chase this target. Better delivery, equally well played by Leicester. Danushka Suravir on strike. The third over in progress. Afam will continue. Left arm fast. Lovely action. Good pace generated by Afam. A lot quicker than what he bowled in the first over. Hurries the batsman. Oh, chance goes begging. Should have been held. Need the wickets. That rushed on to the batsman. And oh dear, made a mess out of it. Should have been held. Skipper, the guilty party. This will be an interesting battle. Afam is quick. And Leicester started off well. First ball was beautifully pulled beyond the boundary line for a 6. He's on strike and Afam will continue. Again, that shorter delivery pulled towards deep mid-wicket. Couple of bouncers. Seems to prefer the shorter delivery. Wonderfully played. Danushka was troubled by the pace, but on that instance, Leicester finds it a lot easy. Plays a wonderful pull shot. The deep square leg fielder may need to come towards the deep mid-wicket region, simply because Leicester seems to prefer that pull shot. Not a bad option if you're a fast bowler. Bang it short, but get that field right. Have a deep mid-wicket in place, and as we speak, the adjustment is being made. Mid-on fielder is placed, and the long on fielder has moved towards deep mid-wicket. So you've got a deep square and deep mid-wicket, and again nicely driven on the front foot. Missed his footing, Affam. Affam can generate a bit more pace if his jump when he delivers is more towards the ball, and again outside edge. Wicket keeper couldn't get across. There we see. Lovely length. Got that outside edge. Valiant effort. Good effort by the wicket keeper. Nevertheless, a boundary for the blazing champions. There we see. Wonderful delivery. Conventional slip fielder. There we see, I think the wicket keeper did have a chance. Try to grab it with one hand. Those are catches that need to be held. So far, 2 catches have gone begging. Leicester's wicket will be key. Lovely delivery. Wonderful delivery. A Yorker, but equally well played by Leicester. End of 3 overs, blazing champions 21 for no loss. Nicely driven, but straight to the fielder. No chance of a single. Wide called. Rimzan, nicely played on the front foot. Beautiful shot on the up, but played with a straight bat towards that extra cover region. Very good start for the blazing champions. Nicely played on the up. Wonderfully hit. These two are going along nicely. And from the Northern Falcons' perspective, they need a wicket. 4th over in progress. These two openers have started off well. Missed out on that opportunity that was there to be hit. A little bit of extra bounce across the left-hander. This time a quick single. Again, not collected cleanly. I think the fielding has been sloppy so far. The infielders need to be a lot more alert. Those chances need to be taken. Northern Falcons require some early wickets. From Blazing Champions' point of view, I think they've got the start they needed. They have that required run rate in check. Current rate little under 7 runs. Oh, what a shot that is. A beautiful hit. Wonderful shot by Leicester. Gentle in-swing bowling. Fuller but beautifully played with a straight face of the bat. Back past the bowler. Over long off for a 6. Wonderful shot by Leicester. Oh, that is another beautiful hit. The previous one went for a 6, but this one is even better, although it's just a boundary. Lovely hit. Lovely hit over extra cover. One bounce. Wonderful shot. End of 4 overs, 37 for no loss. So Afam will continue. He's bowling his 3rd over. 14 runs given. The first 2 overs bowled. Blazing Champions have a brilliant start. There we go. That's the first wicket. Initial reaction was that it was a good shot. But the fielder was placed right on the 30-yard circle. Bat turned when it connected. Wasn't a clean connection, but well held by Rimzan, fielding at mid-off. First wicket for the Northern Falcons. First wicket for Afam, the left-arm fast bowler. So Danushka departs. Played his part. I think a good start for Blazing Champions. Couple of good cover drives in the previous over. That instance too, he went after it. Little uppish. And dropped his elbow at the point of connection, and that meant he didn't get a good swing behind that particular delivery. The impact wasn't clean and well held by Rimzan, fielding at mid-off. So the first wicket goes with the total at 37, and the 5th over in progress. Affam runs in. New batsman JP Vidurshan batting at number 3. Affam runs in again, hitting that length, very well bowled. This over has been quite impressive and much needed from a Northern Falcon perspective. 4 overs, 37 for no loss, and this over has been right on the money. Wicket off the first delivery. Needs to finish it off well. They need the big fish. Leicester started off well. Is the wicket that they require. Beautifully played. Wonderful drive. That should give him some confidence. Straight to the fielder, but nevertheless, look at that shot. High elbow. Wonderful shot. Gajan. A direct hit would have been close, but I think Leicester had it covered. Again, nicely driven, but straight to the fielder. JP Vidurshan has started off well, although he's yet to get off the mark. Those drives in particular should give him some confidence. Playing with a straight bat, high elbow. There's plenty of time left. I think the start has enabled the batsman to get set, take time, understand what's happening on the wicket, and then play your shots. That time, I think Affam throws the bait outside off stump. Batsman, the feet not moving. Wild drive, fortunately, no harm done. So end up 5, 37 for no loss. 37 for 1. Final over was a maiden bowled by Mohammad Afham, and the umpire indicates the second power play, and straight away we've got spin being introduced. Left arm spinner K. Pereira being brought into the attack. There we see first delivery on the shorter side. Leicester helps it towards deep square leg for a single. It's there to be hit, but Leicester didn't find the gap on that instance. Interesting to see JP Vidurshan walk a couple of yards in front of the crease to take guard. This time again a poor delivery On this instance, JP Vidurshan capitalizes on it, sliding towards leg stump, helped along the vacant fine leg region. Nicely played by Vidurshan. Fetches him a boundary to get off the mark. Very quick outfield. Just a short fine leg fielder being brought in to the 30-yard circle on the leg side. Easy single. Should fetch him a couple more runs. Very good running between the wickets. With all three fielders out in the deep square leg, deep mid wicket, long on. The bowler needs to bowl a lot more outside off stump, get the ball to turn away. And him coming wide of the crease doesn't help the cause. He gets the ball to slide into the right hander. Much better delivery. Again, that angle means that just a gentle push, drop your wrist, and you can capitalize on the vacant ample acreage out in the leg side for the batsman to take a single or two. In that instance, a single. It's a good start for the blazing champions. Last time, he misses out on an opportunity to clear the boundary. Shorter side, a tennis ball bounce, and Leicester tried to hit a little too hard and misses it completely. Again, this time short, well fielded, just a single. This over, Kasun has been on the shorter side, so end of 6 overs. Blazing champions 45 for the loss of 1 wicket. So bowling change, 2 left arm spinners bowling in tandem. Mohammad Rilwan being brought into the attack. Starts off on the back foot, well fielded. There was an opportunity for a single, but point fielder ran across, covered a lot of ground, and prevented that single being taken. Leicester on strike, 26 this time, beautifully driven on the front foot. Some fancy footwork, but to no avail. A boundary for Leicester and for blazing champions. They move to 48. 7th over in progress. Wonderful shot on the front foot, but better effort out in the deep. Kept it under 2 runs, but the footwork was of no use in the end. A lovely hit again. Wonderful hit. Another boundary, another sloppy fielding out in the deep. The fielding hasn't helped the cause. Blazing champions 50 on the board, 52 for the loss of 1 wicket. There we see Spinners not looking to turn the ball, just bowling with that straightish seam. Leicester picking the line, picking the length. Again on the shorter side. Again a bit of sloppiness. So all three deliveries have gone to that fielder. Afam been in the firing line. Was fielding at long off. Too sloppy fielding meant he was brought into the inner circle. And the next delivery again straight at him. Just a single on that instance. This time tosses it up. Rilwan coming round the wicket. Can see the shoulders drop. Bit of sloppiness in the field. Blazing Champions racing to 50 off the 7 overs they faced. Oh no, should have been better had the batsman looked to go straight. Leicester says the same thing. Poor shot selection by JP Vidurshan. Was looking good when he was looking to drive. Straight a delivery. Was there to be driven. But plays all across Vidurshan and he departs. Blazing Champs lose their second. And the first wicket for MNM Rilwan. So Pereira will continue. 8th over in progress. 55 for the loss of 2 wickets. New batsman in. Ashwin. Played on the front foot by Leicester. Leicester Jayavir. He's on 35 of 17 deliveries. Oh, beautifully bowled. Much better. Bit of purchase off the wicket. Kasum Pereira, a lot taller compared to Rilwan, who's bowling on the other end. This time slower, played on the back foot, nicely played, and equally well fielded by Ashim. Brings Ashwin Asiri on strike. Left-handed Ashwin bowled well. The first innings when Northern Falcons were batting. Now he's got a task to counter the left arm spin employed by Northern Falcons. He's on strike, yet to get off the mark, facing his first delivery. Plenty of opportunities to work the single. Starts off poor delivery. New batsman out in the middle. Fires it. Looks for that quicker delivery. Not collected cleanly by the wicket keeper. Bonus runs for Blazing Champions. A sloppy cricket on the pads. Easy runs for the batsman. Luckily, didn't get a bat behind it, but fortunately for him, the wicketkeeper didn't collect it cleanly. Oh, this time outside off stump. Bit of turn, but nothing to trouble the batsman. Plays it towards extra cover where it's collected by Azim. Bit more turn. There's a bit of turn for Kasun Pereira when he imparts a bit of revs. Again outside off stump. Driven beautifully. He's off the mark. There was width on offer. Pereira needs to bowl a lot straighter. Overcompensates for that wide he gave away the beginning of the over. Throws it outside off stump. Allows Ashwin to free his arms. Finds the field. So the start continues. 65 for the loss of 2 wickets at the end of 8 overs. Slows it. Rilwan gives plenty of air, and Leicester tries to powerfully drive on the front foot, gets an inside edge. Rilwan teasing the batsman, tosses it up, gives it plenty of air, slows it down. Batsman need to impart doesn't give the batsman any pace to work with. Oh, beautifully played. Beautifully played. With the left hand on strike. Rilwan fires it in, but Ashwin is equal to the task. Uses the pace and glides it towards the gap on the offside. Wonderfully played. The pick of the shot was the placement. Played. No chance of preventing that boundary. Another good start for the over. 70 for 2. We've got 17 more overs to score the remaining 104 runs. Rilwan this time slow, played on the back foot by Ashwin. Just a single. Brings Leicester on strike. They need Leicester's wicket. He's the key player. Batted well so far. Nicely played on the back foot, along the ground. Smart cricket by these two. They've got the boundary. All they need is to work the singles, put on a partnership. The required run rate, little over 6 runs. And with the 2 power play overs left, all they need is just to bat sensibly, and this total will be chased. Oh, again using the pace. Rilwan firing it He bowls a lot slower to the right-handed batsman. The left hand on strike, he's just bowling seam up. And Amar Siri using the pace and most importantly, finding the gap very well. He's raced to 13 of 6 deliveries. Rilwan, second over in progress, captured the wicket but has given away 20 runs. Again, quicker shot and powerfully played towards mid-wicket. Had he found the gap, I'm sure that would have been a boundary as well. Nevertheless, end of 9 overs, 77 for 2. Bowling change, right arm off spin being introduced. Starts off with a full toss, should have been dispatched for a boundary, but straight to the fielder. A deep square leg, Gajan collects. Azim, the right arm off spinner. Another bowler not afraid to toss it on this wicket. Seems a good idea, but he's bowling to the right-handed Leicester. The leg side is the shorter side of the wicket, and as we speak, that's out of here. Wonderful shot. Played with the turn. Wonderful shot by Leicester. He moves to 44. Tosses it up, invites the batsman to go after him, and he obliges. Uses one full swing to connect cleanly and clear the long on fielder with ease. And will he follow it up this time? Again, a bit of turn, but equally well played by Leicester. Rocks on to the back foot and plays towards the vacant sweeper region for a single. Brings the left hand on strike. Oh, bonus runs again. The keeper doesn't collect it cleanly. Wide called. Another boundary for Blazing Champions. Chasing this total with ease. Just 2 wickets down, 91 runs on the board. 10th over in progress. Wonderful start for the Blazing Champions. Expensive over for Azim Mohammed. 3 deliveries, 14 runs. Much better delivery. Nicely flighted, driven, again not collected cleanly. Another single for Ashwin. He moves to 16. Leicester one hit away from a well-compiled half-century. He's on 45 of 24 deliveries. 10th over in progress, 92 for 2. Nicely played. Bit of hesitation out in the middle. Rightfully, the non-striker Ashwin doesn't call for a single. So end of 10, 91 for 2. So Lasantha Sanjeeva, another left-arm spinner, the third left-arm spinner being employed by the Northern Falcons. They need a wicket. Ashwin will be on strike, the left-handed batsman. Again, starts off with a full toss played towards the sweeper region for a single. The required run rate for Blazing Champions is 5.6, just under 6 runs per over. It need to be sensible cricket. Just work the singles, dispatch the loose deliveries, and what a way to get to his 50. Wonderful hit by Leicester. Javeer, he gets to his 50 with a strike rate of 200. Wonderful shot. What a way to get to his half century. Straight back past the bowler. Wonderful hit. Trademark. The hallmark of this innings has been the straight hitting. This time again full toss. Well fielded that extra cover by Azim. Some desperation out there for the Northern Falcons. They need everyone contributing. They've been a bit sloppy. Again, nicely bowled by Lasantha Sanjeeva and equally very well played by Leicester Javeera. He's played on merit. He's picked the right deliveries to attack. If it's in his zone, he's gone after it. That was again tossed up outside off stump. Plays it along the ground towards sweeper. Takes a single. Very good cricket by the Blazing Champions. 99 for 2. Just 75 runs, 76 runs more for them to chase this total. And next one is played towards deep mid wicket, swept along by Ashwin. Collects a single, so that's the 100 on the board for Blazing Champions at the end of 11 overs. The Northern Falcons need some inspiration at the moment. Blazing Champions simply dominating proceedings, and smart cricket played by the Blazing Champions. They know that the chase is under control. Just under 6 runs per over. All you need is, with the field well spread, get the singles. There's been plenty of loose deliveries on offer to dispatch for the occasional boundary. Again, not collected cleanly by the wicketkeeper. Wide called as well. So that's 2 bonus runs for the batting team without taking a risk. From Northern Falcons' point of view, they need to ring in some changes. You need that moment of inspiration. Maybe a good catch or run out. For the time being, even the field placement isn't attacking enough. Maybe bring the occasional slip fielder. Play with the ego of the batsman, and you need a wicket. Nicely bowled, but drifting past the leg stump. Came on with the arm. Right now, Azim has started off this over better than the previous one. Needs a wicket, and from Blazing Champions' point of view, they just need to bat sensibly. Again, nicely played. Oh, beautiful hit. 1 bounce, 4. Wonderful shot. Tossed it up outside off stump. And Leicester drives it powerfully. Wonderful shot. 1 bounce, 4. Oh, this time again drives it, doesn't connect cleanly, but goes straight to long off. Couple of bouncers. Leicester is on 58, and small break with refreshment being brought into the middle. End of 12. Blazing Champions 109 for 2. So Hashim Lutufi running into ball. Oh, beautiful hit. That's out of here. What a shot. Those vehicles need to look out for the big hits. Leicester, no threat whatsoever. Just gentle medium pace. There to be hit. And what a shot by Leicester Jaivira. Straight and out of here. Big hit. He's making it look easy out there. Another hit, doesn't connect it as well as he expected it, but nevertheless in the gap and a boundary. Gentle medium pace and for the class of Leicester Jaivira, easy fodder. So this chase looks very easy as far as Blazing Champions are concerned. Just again played powerfully towards mid-wicket for a single. 53 runs required of 73 deliveries. 13th over in progress. 53 runs required, 73 deliveries left. Ample time and ample deliveries left for Leicester to even eye that 100, the triple figure mark. Oh, beautifully played. Waited for that delivery and rolled his wrist. Ashwin has moved to 22 of 18 deliveries. End of 13 overs, 122 for 2. So Sanjeeva will continue. Lasantha Sanjeeva bowling his second over. Ashwin on strike. Nicely played towards mid-wicket. I think with these two set batsmen out in the middle, pretty certain Blazing Champions may opt for the power play soon after the 15th over. Make short meal of the chase. Leicester 69 on the back foot, played towards sweeper cover for a single. He moves to 70 of 36 deliveries. 50 more runs to chase the 175 of 69 deliveries. Again, played on the front foot towards long on for a single. These two have batted smartly and very effectively, waiting for that loose deliveries. Leicester looking for that over pitch delivery on the shorter side. He's happy to take the single, rotate the strike. If there's to be hit, he goes after it with all his might. Much better over as far as Northern Falcons are concerned. Lasanta Sanjeeva gave away just 4 runs in that 14th over, 127 for 2. Bowling change. K. Pereira being brought into the attack and greeted powerfully. Welcome back to the attack, says Lester Javira. He wants to go after the bowling. If it's full, he goes straight. And another 6 for his tally. 133 for the loss of 2 wickets, just 42 runs required of 65 deliveries, and Leicester requires 23 more for his 100. Nicely played. This time uses the pace on offer, glides it towards the third man region. Valiant effort by the fielder. There we see quicker, just uses his wrists, finds the gap. Smart batting by Leicester. He moves to 81. And 37 for the loss of 2 wickets. 15th over in progress. Tries to work a single. Early in the day, there was a bit of sponginess on the wicket. Maybe the overnight rain meant that there was some dampness on the outer layer of the wicket, but now I think it has settled down beautifully, and run making is quite easy out there. The batting has been quite impressive. They've pounced on anything full, and they've attacked from the get-go. That instance, there was some turn. So end of 15, 138 for 2. So as expected, the power play has been taken. Lester Javid on strike and Anand and Gajan will bowl the first over in the batting power play. Just 37 runs required in 60 deliveries. Unless a monumental collapse takes place, it'll be blazing champions will end up on the winning side. There we go. First delivery. Leicester goes after the bowling and unfortunately thickish outside edge. Hunger holds on to it and a very good innings comes to an end. 82 runs he made. First delivery he faced, he dispatched it over deep mid-wicket for a 6. He departs for 82 runs. Victory in sight. Just 38 more needed. And from Northern Falcons' perspective, they need to get some quick wickets. Won't be easy. Just 10 overs left. They took the power play to capitalize and score some quick runs, but unfortunately, first wicket, the wicket of the first delivery means that they need to now bat with some caution. So 2 left-handers out there in the middle. Jesley Richards, the skipper, has walked in. And you've got Ashwin at the non-striker. He's scored 24 of 23 deliveries. Dead ball called. Gajan coming round the wicket. And the non-striker too. The umpire calling it a dead ball. Straight to the point fielder where it's fielded by the captain, Hafshan. Some changes to the field. Afam, who was fielding at sweeper, been brought into the circle, and the long on, mid-on drops to long on. Jesley on strike, the captain. Oh, thickish outside edge. Gave him room to free his arms, and the batsman obliges. Wild swing, thickish outside edge, flies past the short third man fielder for a boundary. There's a bit of a spongy bounce, especially when the ball is in use. This is short and this is just played beautifully over deep mid-wicket for a 6. Loose delivery. Jesley just pounced on it. Wonderful shot. That has been the feature of this chase. Anything loose, anything short, they've pounced on it and capitalized on the opportunity provided. Another big hit. He's come out with purpose, the skipper, Jesley Richards. With another wonderful hit on the pads. Meat and drinks for left-handers, and on that occasion clears the boundary with ease. So first ball wicket, followed up with a 4, 6 and a 6 by Jesley Richards. And the required run rate keeps dropping, just 2.3 required. Another good hit straight to the fielder. Some miscommunication out there. So a 16 run over comes to an end. The 16 overs gone, 154 for 3. With two left-handers out there, Azim Mohammed will bowl the second over in the batting power play. A long off and a deep mid-wicket in place. Nicely driven on the front foot, but straight to the extra cover fielder. No chance of a single. Oh, beautifully helped over square leg. Uses the pace and just helps it towards fine leg. (19 runs required). Oh, lovely shot. Beautiful shot, but well fielded. Still, that delivery, that shot had the legs. Despite the valiant effort, goes to the boundary. There we see wonderful shot on the front foot. Very difficult to bowl if you're a slow bowler with just two fielders out in the deep and the batsman well set. Oh, nicely played. Uses the pace of the bowler. On that occasion, doesn't find the gap. Started off the innings with two wonderfully placed glides towards that third man region. Was in the gap. That's a full toss and plays it along the ground. Some fancy footwork, but fortunately for the fielder, goes to a boundary. Again, there you see the bowlers have been a little loose for my liking. Plenty of full tossers bowled. few the batsman didn't dispatch, but on that instance, to the gap and a boundary. Much slower, takes the outside edge. So end of 17, 164 for 3. So Gajan will continue. Is he bowled? Yes. Wild swing, trying to dispatch it towards deep mid wicket. A cutter, a slow ball bowled by Anand and Gajan. Batsman misses it completely and takes the long walk back to the pavilion. The skipper departs. Quick fire. 16 of 6 deliveries. Blazing Champions just need 14 more runs. 11 more runs, and I'm sure they'll be eyeing that run rate as well. Plenty of time left in the tournament, but when you're on top, you need to capitalize on whatever opportunity that is provided. And at the moment, Blazing Champions need to look at pushing that run rate up, the net run rate. Both these teams are yet to get on the board. Blazing Champions are well on course to get 2 points of the first 3 games they've played, and Tikshana, the new batsman, is on strike. Straight and played towards long on, takes the single and brings Ashwin on strike. Had he missed that, I'm sure the umpire would have had no hesitation in lifting that dreaded finger. Gajan has captured 2 wickets, was brought in to bowl the first over in the batting power play. Got a wicket off the first delivery, and unfortunately for him was dispatched to 2 towering sixers by Chesley Richards the previous over, watchfully played by Ashwin. Should be called a wide, yes. Outside of stump, way outside of stump. So 10 more needed. Fuller, no, not a good connection by Ashwin. Nicely played on the front foot for a single. So Ashwin has moved along nicely to 35 of 32 deliveries. Tikshana, single off the first delivery he faced. 4 wickets down, 167 for 4. Just the formalities. 8 more needed. 2 hits away. The blazing champions. Full toss driven back to the bowler. So end of 18, 167 for 4. So Afham, left arm fast bowler, brought into the attack. He's bowled 3 overs, 1 maiden, given away 14 runs and captured the first wicket to fall. Left-handed Ashwin on strike. Nicely bowled and equally well played by Ashwin. Afam, quick shot, wild swing by Ashwin, no connection. Banging his back, hitting the turf hard, getting some lift off the wicket. Again, nicely bowled, equally well played by Ashwin. Guides it towards sweeper for a single. Brings the right-handed Tikshana on strike. Might as well bring a slip, put some pressure to the new batsman Tikshana. Starts off looking for that Yorker on the pads, played towards deep square leg. Tikshana gets a single and brings Ashwin on strike. 169 for 4. Full toss, little too quick for Ashwin, unable to dispatch. Hits it straight to the bowler. He's in a bit of discomfort, hit right at top of the bat. Some impact on the glove. Nevertheless, no harm done. Takes strike. Afam Again, driven on the front foot. Nicely played by Ashwin. He moves along nicely to 37. Sloppiness on the field again. Gives them a second run. So the score moves to 171 for 4 runs required of 6 overs. 1 hit away. I thought the Northern Falcons managed to score 173 because the last run that was taken was a short run and the batsman was run out. But the scoreboard reads 175 as the target. So you've got 6 more overs, just 4 runs required. Ananda Gajan bowls batsman, tries to drive on the front foot, misses it completely. There we go. What a way to finish proceedings. A wonderful hit on the front foot. Driven beautifully. That should be the end of this innings. Blazing Champions complete the chase in 19.2 overs. That should help the net run rate as well. Completely outplayed by the Blazing Champions. First points on the board for them in the third game. And for the Northern Falcons, it's back to the drawing board. 3 losses on the trot. Yet to get off the mark. Last year's finalists, the favourites last year, missed out on the championship. And there we go. Blazing Champions have won by 6 wickets. Wonderful performance by the opener, Lester Jayavira, who top scored with a wonderful compiled 82 runs. And he was supported by Ashwin, who's unbeaten on 36. And Theekshana, wonderful way to end proceedings. Lovely cover drive. So we see easy work by Blazing Champions. Handshakes all around. Northern Falcons acknowledging that they've been outplayed today by the Blazing Champions. We will shortly see the batting and bowling card. We start off with the batting card. And there we go. Blazing Champions, Dhanushka Suravira, the opener, managed 12. But the star of the show, Lester Jayavira, 6 sixers in his wonderful innings of 82. Vidurshan managed 7. But then we see the partnership, Ashwin Asiri. He was not out on 38. The skipper walked in during the batting power play and played 2 towering sixers for his 16. And in the end, Theekshana, the wicket keeper, ending proceedings with a boundary. 2 batsmen starring for Blazing Champions in the chase. Lester Jayavira with 82. And the bowling for Northern Falcons, nothing much to write off. Afam, the left-arm fast bowler, was the pick of the bowlers. 4 overs, 16 dot deliveries, gave away just 18 runs and captured the wicket. Anand Gajan bowled during the batting power play, captured 2 wickets, and Rilwan got 1 in the 2 overs he bowled. But overall, the bowling was found wanting. And chase started off with the umpires striding into the middle. And at this point, we all felt 175 would be a good total, but the chase started off strongly with Suravira driving powerfully, and then the star of the show, Leicester, dispatched the first delivery for a 6, and anything short he pounced on. But that was a chance that went begging. Had it been held, things would have looked different. Another cover drive, but the feature of this innings was the powerful hits straight by Leicester. That was the first one. Then a couple of boundaries. The batsman went after the bowling. That was the first wicket to fall. And then runs were made regularly. There were plenty of loose deliveries, plenty of good hits, sloppiness on the field. There we see again the fielder not doing the right things. Unfortunately, Vidushan was bowled. And then we see the big partnership between Ashwin Nasiri and Leicester Jayavira. They found the boundary plenty of times. Some ordinary bowling, spinners bowling a little too quick. Nasiri using the pace on a couple of occasions, finding the gap. Lovely bit of wrist work, lovely bit of hands. Every loose delivery was pounced on, and the bowlers were not consistent. And then Leicester had enough, went after the bowling. Powerful hits over extra cover, powerful hits over long off. That was a very expensive over as well. Biggest hit of the day onto the road, followed up with another powerful hit over extra cover. And at this stage, Jayavira was eyeing the 100, was looking good and looking set for that 3-figure mark. Opted for the power play, and the first delivery out caught behind, but out strode the captain. Started off streakily, but then dispatched the next 2 deliveries for 2 towering sixers. He scored a quick fire 16 before he was out. Nasiri was not out on 36. He had a good hand in the partnership with Jayavira. The skipper got out, and that was the end of the chase. Fitting end with a wonderful cover drive. So Blazing Champions win by 6 wickets. And the summary, Northern Falcons won the toss and elected to bat. They made 174 of the allotted 25 overs for the loss of 8 wickets. Chamath Hiranta scored 28. Anand Gajan brought some impetus to the total with a quick fire 26. Amjad scored 23 off 13. Jessley Richards, the captain, was the pick of the bowlers with 2 wickets, and he was ably supported by Pradeep Roshan, who captured a wicket, and Ashan Rukmal captured a wicket apiece. And the chase, Leicester Jayavira 82 of 43 deliveries, and Ashwin Nasiri unbeaten on 38 of 37. Pick of the bowlers, Anand Gajan with 2 wickets. And at the end, Blazing Champions romped towards that target of 175 runs, and they won by 6 wickets with plenty of overs left. So that is the end of the first game played at the Thurston College Cricket Grounds. We will take a small break, and we will be back with the second game of the day, and we will be back shortly.